Hey guys, this video you're about to see is old footage from last year on Orange Roughy. Not sure why we haven't posted it, just probably never got around to it like everything else. But we talk about how we were going to take it away at Christmas and how we were going to try and get it ready, which never ended up happening. So it does allude to, I'll talk about, what date it is in September last year, and we were trying to get it ready for Christmas. But just ignore that little bit of it. And Orange Roughy's a lot further along now, so we'll post some more videos as well after this one. But we've kept this one just to 20 minutes and there's no ending on it, so it will just finish at the end. Sweet. So, right, we're back on Orange Roughy, but this time we've turned them around on the hoist and about to do the other side. I've gone through taking all the mouldings off, unpicked all of this, which is pretty boring stuff, so I didn't bother filming it. But I'm about to pull this off for the first time. I've had a minor look underneath, but I haven't really had a good look, so you guys are going to see it when I see it. So we'll just take it off now. Or maybe not. Okay. Looks pretty reasonably tidy. Good old 70s installation. So, the bottom of that's gone, which is predictable, but look at that. That's tidy as. I don't think I'm going to need to replace that. And even this, although it's got a rusty tinge to it, that looks pretty mint as well. No rust holes. And these all are nice and solid. This actually looks way better than the other side. I'm happy with that. Alright, I'll get this other panel ready to take off and we'll have a go at that as taking the last rivet out of this side. So I'm just going to pull this off. This will be a long sheet. This will be 2440 long because they used imperial sizes. So again, we're in an active grooming bay on a Saturday. It's Saturday the, what date is it? 6th of September. So give you an idea, and this thing's going away at Christmas. Well, could be. Alright, come over here mate, let's have a look. Show you the form the compressor goes off. This is far out. This is, I don't want to talk too easy, but too soon, but this looks like it's going to be pretty quick. Okay, the bottom of that's gone, but not really a major. Yeah, look at that. That one's mint. So that bit of framing's mint. That one's gone on the bottom, but easy repair. The inside of those, look at that, they're really tidy too. So when I put my splash panel, I can just go straight over the top of those. Same here, look at those, tidy as. So all this is predictable stuff, but it's, man, that's really tidy. I'm happy with that. All right, I'll have a plug away and we'll come back soon. Okay, so I've just ground all this down and like that's as good as the day it went on. It's immaculate. Even under here, nothing's corroded at all. It's mint. And this bit doesn't need replacing. That's ground up all nice. Even this bit, which I've just taken off here, this is an original. Sorry, but
So anyway, that's an original piece too, which obviously has seen better days, but still it's 53 years old. So this is all good. We can come in behind this like we did on the last one. And right here, I've just been drilling out these horrible spot welds. I haven't filmed it because it'd be as boring to watch as what it is to do. So I'm just about to, you need a sacrificial chisel. I'm going behind and I'm going to peel this panel back, and just so I can put this bottom bit in, and then when I need to use it as a pattern, I'll just hammer it back out again. So I won't film it because it's going to be pretty loud, but I'm just going to chisel in behind this to free it, peel this back, and then we'll come back. Okay, so just peeled that back. Look, that's really tidy. We may have to put just a little bit on the bottom, but I've just ground that back with a wire brush. And I'm just amazed because this caravan, when we got it from up north, Doubtless Bay I think it was right next to the ocean for 15 years. And when I say right next to the ocean, I mean literally it was 50 meters from the water. So I am stunned that this is not rotten. This side was obviously a lot less more exposed than the other side. So I'm just going to put some rust converter on it. See if we do need to do those. May not need to. There might be enough good metal on there to rivet to. We'll see. And that stuff's all pretty straightforward, really. So we'll do this. Then we'll do the same on the other side, and then we'll worry about these other bits up above. But really pleased, this is so much easier than what I thought it was going to be. So cameraman's taken off to lunch, that's why he's not doing this part. So we'll put some rust converter on it, and then yeah, start putting some new stuff in. Alright, rust converter on. Came up mint, ready for paint. CRC zinc silver top coat. This stuff does have galvanizing properties in it because I've tried to weld over it before and it just splatters the same way that galvanizing does. So that should be a good protectant for years to come, really. Okay, so I've decided that I am going to put these on. I've got to put one there, and I was just about to put that and rivet it in, but I realised if I did that, then I'd have to cut the rivets back out again because it would obstruct the splash panel going on the other side. So I put that in now. That's what these are holding up. You can't even see it. I've just gone over the top of this one that was there because that's mint. So there's no reason to try and cut that out. And same as we've done on the other side. Get some light on the scene. There we go. Nice and tidy. So I will rivet that on now. Just rivet up through that angle line. All done. That's super strong now. Like strong as, I can hardly move it. So just put the angle on the bottom. I won't bother filming that, it's probably getting a bit repetitive now. And then I'm going to do the same sort of thing on the other side here. I'll film snippets of it, but I won't get too involved because it's just much of the same as what you've been seeing already. Alright, Father's Day, which means I get to spend time in the shed with no complaining. Look, this is the front bit. That's what we did yesterday. I wasn't going to film it because it's much of the same really, but probably a quick summary. That one's gone at the bottom, so I'll put a bit over the top of there. Usual bit in there. That pull is good. Just taking this off, but unfortunately there's spot welds in between behind the hoist post. So I'm gonna have to try and get them off with a belt sander. So yeah, take this off. That's pretty good underneath, just surface stuff. Yeah. Alright. Just finished off this piece. Had to extend that piece of framing because it was just a little bit rotten on the end, and splash paneling behind. Okay, Monday the 8th of September, pinching a little bit more time off work. So I didn't film a lot of it yesterday, just snippets, but I finished all this area here, and we've tidied all this framing and that up as well. So it's finished up to this level. I'm going to throw it back together, stick it outside so I can work on this hoist for the rest of the week. Then we'll pull it back in, pull these panels off, and I'm going to pull those top panels off as well as the flashing. And I might get new ones of those. They're pretty cheap, and it saves me trying to sand down all that old paint. So I was just cutting out the wheel arch cover here, or about to. And one thing I noticed is they have, and I can't remember where I put it, down here. These little pieces of timber, actually, if you film from there, sort of sit in there. And the only reason I can think of is to stop, and they have mastic sealer and all sorts of horrible stuff on it, and that's to stop water from going into this wall cavity. Now, if you have a look this way, on this one, it's particularly bad there. I don't know why. So I thought, rather than trying to stick a piece of timber back in there, it's very hard to film this, I've got offcuts from our splash panels, which I will need to cut down, of course, but if I just put those in there and get them tidied up, cut it a bit narrower, cut it off at the base, then there's no way water can get up into that wall cavity. So I'm going to spend a little bit of extra time now that we're keeping this little puppy and do that as well, just to protect that wall cavity. Alright, I put these little covers on to stop the water going up into the wall cavity, and they haven't come out too bad. If you just sort of shoot through there. So this is it here, as you can see. Put some rivets down the side, pulled up nice and flat, so there's really no need to seal it. If you have a look at this one, it's sort of covered quite nicely just there as well. And all I'm doing is using offcuts, which we wouldn't have used for anything else. So it's worked out really well, and I'll just put the wheel cover over that, so that's really nice and watertight. It's just for splash off the tyres if we do tow in the rain, which we never do. It just means it's just going to splash off this, you know, because it's in nice and tight. And the only bit of wall cavity that's exposed is a tiny bit just on that edge there. So it's not really an issue. I don't know if you can really see it with the bit of light maybe. It's a bit grim. But yeah, this is the only bit just down here where the wall cavity's behind. So all of this is, you know, you're not going to get water in behind it. So I was going to seal it, but I'm not going to bother. Because I might reline the interior next year, and if I do that, I have to take these covers off, and it'll be a pain. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to do the other side, put this cover on, and we're done. Okay, Saturday 13th of September. Back onto Orange Roughy, windy, horrible day, so good shed day. I'm just taking this top awning rail off, which has gone remarkably well actually, because it's just got thousands, well not thousands, but it feels like it, of these little screws here. They've been in there for 50 years, and the easiest way to get them out is to give them a hit with one of those first, and then just be real gentle and take them out. So they're all out. I'm just about to pull it off, and then we can start working towards pulling this top panel off and seeing what we've got in behind and whether we can do the wiring. All right, hands in the way. Sunday the 14th. Didn't get a lot done yesterday just because running kids around and had a bit of shopping and that to do. Today it's still grey and horrible outside, so going to spend a day in the shed and hopefully not too many distractions today. So yesterday the only thing I really got done was taking that awning rail off, and I've gone right around these edges and wire brushed them just so I can see exactly where the rivets are. And that sort of thing. So today I'm going to take that panel off, and also the one above the door, and that one, and that flashing there as well. And that's going to determine where I go with wiring and that. What I'm hoping to see when I take this panel off and fold that lip back up is access where I can run 240 volt wiring up through the rails or the framing in the roof. There's a little channel there that you should be able to slide it through, and that takes it through to the power box on the other side. If I can't do that, chances are I won't rewire it. I'd really like to, but if I can't run the wiring without taking the interior lining off, I won't do it. I will play with the 12 volt wiring in that case, but yeah, once I take that panel off, it'll determine the direction we're going to go. I mean, if we don't have to wire it, it's going to save some money and save a lot of time, but I'd prefer to if I could. So we'll whack this panel off. All right, not sure how well you can see this. You can see the roof. Basically, they just lay them on top, rivet them down, and then they're folded over here. And then you have the molding which goes over the top. They do leak in here. Water can go actually up and under there. There is a specific term for it. I can't remember what it is. This one here, I'm quite surprised. I don't know if you can see, but it's not really hammered that flat. So, and it doesn't leak. It's dry as a bone. So I'm surprised. When I put that back on, I might just hammer that down a wee bit flatter, then run a bead of silicone along here before I put the molding on, and then I'll silicone top and bottom of that as well. You can see here this panel overlaps this one, and they're both under this molding here, because when they make them, they stand the walls on, the chassis is made first, then they stand the walls on top of that, then put this center section of the roof on, then they build the ends onto them, so that's why everything's overlapped here. So there's not many rivets, they're about 400 apart, so drill them out and take this panel off and see what we've got. So we've got these panels off, just the usual predictable surface rust. There's nothing significant there at all. I am going to tidy up this wiring, comes through for the awning light, which I do want to run, but they should have plastic tubing through the frame, and they haven't, which is a bit of a worry. And same thing up here. That should have some plastic tubing on it. That's a bit of a sharp edge. So I'm just going to drill a new hole for that. Put some plastic tubing just to protect it. Let me just get rid of this surface rust. Again, nothing major. And then see where we go from there. Okay, so I've just peeled this panel back, and things have taken a turn on how we're going to go with this. I'm wearing a head torch, so hopefully we can get some light up here. Oh yeah, got the bloody roof light in the way. But anyway, you can't access, you can't run wiring through the roof because this is in the way. All up in here is just mint. So I'm not going to wire it. I will run some 12 volt through there. See if I can peel this up a bit. So that's where the lights are there, or the inside of where the wiring goes through to the lights. and then it disappears up behind the, up behind that capping and into the roof, and I just can't get to there, so I'm not going to do it. So I'll run some 12 volt up into here, into that light, and then we'll take these covers off, and I'll figure out a way. I don't have the wiring, so I can't do it today. Figure out a way with these outside panels off to run it through the framing, and either around the front of the Caravan and to a battery on the other side, or underneath it. So having trouble walking back. I'm leaning up against a boat behind me. So I'm not going to disturb that top capping anymore. There's no reason to. In behind there's mint. I'll have a look on the other side. I'm going to assume that's the same. I do have to take the flashing off and peel the bottom of it up, just so I can peel these panels back enough that I can replace these panels here, and then this goes down over the top. So I do have to come back, open it up that much, but I'm not going to go any more than that. There's no reason to. I was going to replace these panels, but they're mint, so again, there's no reason to do that as well. So we just simplified the build quite a bit.